a big R34 GTR fan and R34 fan in general. This behind me here is such an incredibly special moment for me. This is the 2003 JGTC, so Japanese touring cars R34 GTR, like the real deal, the real race car. I've never seen anything quite like this before. Still got some bumps and bruises on the side of the car there, which is just absolute madness. And check out the inside. I can't get too much closer, I'm afraid, but it's just proper old school JGTC race cars. Absolutely unbelievable seeing that in real life. So this didn't actually have an RV26. This one had a VQ30 DETT, which you can have a look at the stats and things on this sign if you like. And this is a GT500 with a 2.9 litre VQ30 DETT. I should have pointed out before too that in these other tents, so you've got the model car collection, which is what that massive line is before. In this one hall here, Nissan collection, so in here they had a whole bunch of different t-shirts and other forms of merch. Erin got me a couple that I will show you soon. Over here you've got the Nissan collection, which is where you can just buy a few of the things that are down here on this sign. You've just got some random Datsun like scale models. You've got some hats and different things like t-shirts, jumpers, particularly like more Datsun stuff, but a few older cars there as well. So that's in the Nissan collection hall down here. And then all down this part behind the main grandstand, you've got a whole bunch of different food offerings. One thing that I'm keen to do when she's out is head back behind the main pit building here and go and check out the race cars. So we've caught up with Erin again in line, who's been very, very nicely waiting for me. We've sort of taken it in turns. We've been here since what, like 8:30 this morning in this line, and we've sort of swapped out. So just want to give a shout out to Erin for being awesome. Not many girlfriends would wait in line for the chance of potentially buying a Hot Wheels car. Like, we don't even know if the car's still in stock. So
alright, I've got my gloves on. I hope we can cut to a clip now of me tonight having some kind of glass of wine somewhere.
Maybe, I don't know.
Some dumplings very soon.
Every restaurant seems to be shut.
Yeah, that's...
But anyway, we'll cut back to Erin very shortly, but we might go for a little wander and get some food. But hopefully next time you see her, she's got a couple Hot Wheels cars for us. So Erin is back now, but she sadly does not come bearing gifts. She was in line from about 8:30 this morning till around 12:30, and we were switching out, taking it in turns who was going in line, but you did a big shift. Yeah. Whoa, look at those Bosozuku cars coming past in the background. That's crazy. Wow, there you go. That's something I have not seen yet in Japan, and we've just ticked it off. Bosozuku style. Wow, unreal. Again, one of those sorts of mod styles you only ever see in the magazines and the option DVDs, or the old school VHS tapes. But anyway, as we were saying before, Erin did not come bearing gifts of a model car because they were all out of stock, which was a bit annoying. I don't even think there was a warning in Japanese that the particular Hot Wheels that we were looking for was sold out. It's pretty rough to sort of spend half the day standing there and not being able to enjoy the event together. But anyway, we've still got plenty of time now, so we're going to head across to the other side of the track. But before we do that, do you want to show us what we've got? So we found a couple really cool things.
This one was a special request. They actually had to pull this one off of the coat hanger for Pat. This is the only one left, hence the sizing is a little bit...
That looks massive. That should be good though. Looks sick. So that was the only one left. And mind you, Erin went in there at about 9 AM this morning and they were already sold out. So one thing I've really noticed here is that the fan culture is absolutely massive.
I haven't seen the back, but it's a Z-Tune one.
It was pretty cool. It's a Z-Tune t-shirt, so I got one of these for me and one for my mate Peter with the black R34 GTR, who I've spoken about a few times and featured on the channel a couple times.
And then I also got this.
Whoa!
I've seen lots of people with it. I thought it was really funny.
What's that little cat bag?
It's a cat, yeah.
Oh, that's sick.
It's a Nismo cat. I thought that'll come in very handy for all the times I'm carrying around caravans.
Yeah, like now.
Like right now.
Thanks for that. Thanks for going in, getting that all sorted. This is very, very rare, very unique. This is an R33. So you've got them all in the Nismo catalog there. R33 GTR R-Tune. That is so rare. I have never seen one of those before. And usually with Nismo's special cars, you can tell they're a special version because they've got this big sticker down the side. So that's what immediately gave it away to me when we were just checking out all the products over there. But that is super cool. That is a total real relic of JDM tuning history. Seeing an R33 GTR R-Tune. Look at all those vintage stickers down there on the side and up here. Wow, that is sick. Cool as this. Slammed E46 3 in white. Left-hand drive on some T37s with some big Brembos. Oh, and it's got a CSL front bar as well. Seeing this track in the flesh is just so surreal. Considering how many times I've lapped this track on Gran Turismo, like I know the layout of this thing like the back of my hand. It's just, it's absolutely wild. Anyway, carrying on, we have to get to the race cars because we haven't even showed that. All right, so we now find ourselves on the other side of the track. This is the exhibitor display. I had no idea all of this was here. I was too excited just to get here. I haven't seen any of this yet. Right behind me is a Kansai service booth. You've got so many real JDM brands. And I know it sounds stupid saying it because they're just brands, but you know, stuff that in the car culture you look up to and take inspiration from for your builds. Like the real people behind the brands are actually here today. So let's walk around. As per usual, have a look what's here, point out anything that's really special, and we'll probably just go up and down, then we'll go and check out some of the race cars. Oh, this is sick. So, this looks like an R34 drift car, I'm assuming because it's got some D1 light stickers on it, the D1 being D1 drifting. Damn! Wow, first time seeing a real competition drift car. But check out the angle of the steering on that thing. That's definitely a drift car. Massive Garrett RB25 in the GTT. That's absolutely awesome. I always loved the Kansai service strut bar. And this one's got HKS intake on it as well and VCAM. And check, oh my god, that is wild. Check that out, massive HKS turbo. On this, this is a white R34. You've got the Kansai service strut tower bar, red HKS intake, VCAM, potentially some R35 coil packs as well. So over here you've got some of the famous JDM shops. You've got Cusco here. This R35 GTR looks really, really nice. These guys sell some Fujitsu titanium hood props. Super cool for about, how much is that? $308? $310 for an R34. Oh, sweet Jesus. Oh my god! I genuinely had no idea this was here. No way. This is the Mines Demo R34 GTR. Wow, so if you don't actually understand why I'm freaking out so much about this right now, this R34 GTR is the Mines Demo car. That is it's my one of 3 ever made. One is here in Japan, there's one I think in America or overseas, and there's a third one that V-Spec Performance used to have where I've done a lot of my recent content, but it's now actually up in Sydney with Lee. But this is the one. That is unbelievable. I believe this has had a recent revamp as well, so the engine has been taken apart with the help of Build by Legends and have returned to its former glory. But check out all the zinc plated bolts. You've got the iconic Mines wrinkle finish engine cover as well as the plenum. All these tanks here are new. Looks like the paint in the engine bay is also new. Man, this is for me my absolute number one. I genuinely had no idea they were going to be here today. If I did, I probably would have worn my t-shirt, but I had no idea this was going to be here. So wow, oh my god. All right, we have to move on sadly. So in here you have something incredibly special. Behind me are a few different grey GTRs. They all look the same, and you might be wondering why that is. That is because these are Clubman race specs, or CRS for short. And Nismo have brought all the GTRs from the 32 right through to the 35 to show off today. And I'll run you through them very, very quickly and about what the Clubman race spec actually means. The Clubman race spec essentially involves Nismo taking your GTR. You can do this from anywhere in the world. You send it to Nismo or Mori factory and they reconstruct your car, totally resurrect your car, restore it, whatever you want to call it, from the ground up. And this is the result. You get a essentially brand new car, just like this 32 and this R33. That looks absolutely phenomenal. Like you could absolutely eat off these things. And each of these cars come with their own serial. So it's a numbered plaque on the chassis. You pay around, I think, don't quote me on this, but from what I've heard, around 650,000 Australian dollars for this pleasure. So it doesn't come cheap, but you are getting a brand new car at the end of that. You don't have to just pick the grey. I've seen one of these in Australia in a midnight purple, and these are the engines. You don't just get the standard RB26 that came in your car, but you get the R4, you get the S2, or you can get, if you have the R35, VR S1 put inside of it. And like these things, again, as I mentioned, are all brand new engines. Like just look at all the bolts and all the different parts on the engine, like everything is new, nothing is reused from your old engine. You can even tell these brand new Nismo twin turbos as well on the R4 here, and then the S2, it comes with an Omori factory plate, which is super sick. But yeah, seeing this stuff in the flesh for me as a massive GTR fan is very, very special indeed. This would have to be my pick, of course. If you've watched just one of my videos, if you've not even watched one of my videos, if you watched 30 seconds of one of my videos, you would know that the R34 GTR is my all-time dream car. So seeing the CRS version in the flesh of a brand new car pretty much looks so cool. It's so nice to see this. So I'll do a quick little walk around for you. This was a V-spec. There's now a CRS. The inside gets a complete facelift as well. You have over here an R35 to finish it off, which doesn't quite have the same effect of looking really nice and brand new for me, I think, because the R35 is still quite a new car in my eyes. It's not like the R32 now, which is like 30 plus years old. So still cool to see a Clubman R35. So over here now at HKS, seeing what they might have, seeing if there's any cool stuff. Here's the t-shirts. You can get these ones from Autobucks though, so that's nothing too special there. And my towel, my gym towel that I've already got. So HKS have brought out their 400Z demo car, which looks super cool, but sadly we really have to crack on because there is so much to cover. It's got the Michelin tent over there. There's like the mini GT tent. Erin said I can buy 4 more model cars.
No, on the record, no more model cars. They're ruining this trip. Taking up too much time.
This is a Yashio factory, very iconic tuner here with their pink liveries. I'm going to say this is a time attack car, and that engine setup as well with the pink cover on that SR20 looks absolutely mad. And you've got these really big air ducts at the back to bring air right back through the side of the car here. And this kit as well is something I've never seen before. And you've got a little scuba sticker, so I'm going to say that is a time attack car. Carbon bonnet over there. And looking at it from back here, the whole back of the bumper is being cut out to give it this really awesome, unique look. That looks absolutely wild. And you can see down the side of the car here, that thing just looks minto. Very, very cool. Oh, no way. Oh my god, we have to go and see that thing on track. The Calsonic cars are just taken off because it's going for a rip and the Le Mans cars are going off, so we have to get out and get to it. Things are very fluid at this event, so my one piece of advice for you would be to plan ahead, actually plan what you want to do. don't wait in line for the model cars because they will get out of stock. One thing, well, I did mention I was going to point out the race cars. We were just pointing out some tuning cars. Then we stopped off to see a few cars on track before. This one is the 2003 JGTC car, so this must be the other one because there's one over on the other side of the track. So again, seeing a car like this is so incredibly special, and as a massive Nissan fan, makes me really, really happy to see. It is so cool at this event to see pretty much every JDM tuning shop, like just literally walking past the top secret stand that I've ever dreamed of in one place. It is just so cool. Like you've got this top secret R35, then you've got the Greddy booth over here. So you've got their 400Z demo car, which looks really cool with the Greddy stripe on it and some merch as well. All these places obviously have their own merch. A R35 GTR, as well as this. This is one of the 300 odd made 380 RS Nismo, so they didn't make too many of these. This is a super, super rare car. Incredibly cool. We actually featured one of these too at E-Spec Performance the other week. So seeing one in Japan, that is really, really cool. It's one of those sorts of cars that you know with this sort of thing. And actually seeing one in the flesh, this is actually for sale currently for 65.8 million. So I believe that's around like maybe 66,000 Australian dollars. This is actually a shop called Supersonic. So if you see this video and you want to buy this car, hit them up. So over here you have the Blitz stand. This is super cool. This is a very awesome early 2000s proper JDM styled R34 GTT. This is the Blitz demo Fairlady Z. I love seeing all the different companies, how they're styling their 400Zs. This makes me really, really happy as a big Nissan fan. Seeing a current generation demo car in Japan is something that I've always wanted to do and I've never had the opportunity until now. So this is super cool to see. Just seeing tuning companies that are still going at it in this day and age and battling each other to see who can make the better tech is so, so cool. That's why I love it that they're still making such awesome cars like this. So as I mentioned, it's super cool to see current day and age tuning companies still producing super cool parts. So you've got a whole bunch of strut tail bars here. If you have a Fairlady Z like this one here, you can grab one of these. This is an S14 or an S15 one, so it's super, super cool. Then over here you've got a whole bunch of Blitz gauges as well, which is, I've seen a few cars in Japan running these sorts of things. Some like super cool little digital setup. Then you've got some tools, some more gauges, just heaps of cool stuff all along here that you can pause the screen if there's anything you want to particularly look at. But alright, this is something pretty cool. This is the first Z tune that we've spotted today. The key things you need to know if you're not already familiar with it is that it's one of 19 made, a multi-million-dollar Nissan, one of the most expensive Nissans, if not the most expensive Nissan that you can currently buy with any form of money. And then next to it, got an R33 GTR 400R, which is one of 44 ever made. And this one here is chassis number 22, and this belongs to the Global Auto Team, which is a pretty famous Japanese car dealer. If you've never heard of them, check them out. They own these two as part of their collection. Then you've got this wicked R34 that's got this super cool Mines engine with the dark blue engine covers. You've got the carbon Nismo air intake with the box and the pipes and the panel. It's just super, super sick. And then some pretty mad R35s. All look extremely highly modified. You can see some HKS logos there telling you that one's not completely stock. And then you've got two Rush factory cars, which I've actually never heard of before, if I'm being completely honest, but look like they make some pretty cool stuff for R35s. I'm just going to skim through here very quickly because we are running out of time and there is so much more that I'm trying to get and cover for you. So this is the option DVD meet. So you've got this awesome Fairlady Z here with these, look at those trumpets on that. That's sick. This is an old Datto wagon. Pause the screen now if you want to read about that car. That is just pretty, that's pretty insane. It's VQ 25DE in this Datsun. That looks super cool. I'd love to be able to spend some more time walking around this. Then you've got this cool R34 next to another 240Z. This nice and clean R33 GTR. I'll show you under the engine there as well. Next to another older Skyline 2000 GT. This is the full garage active, I think, carbon fiber R32 GTR. Wow, you might recognise this gentleman over here as well, if you're familiar with the GTR scene. So yeah, the whole car is carbon fibre. Check out the size here of that turbo on that as well. Super, super cool. Very, very nice garage active car. So at the option DVD tent as well, you've got this really cool R32 with some very cool old school parts like this ARC strut bar. It's got an HKS turbo, HKS racing suction rather intake, HKS V-cam. This is a Garagesaurus car in any case, so you know it's running a fair bit of gear in there. And again, if you want to read about it, this could be the Garagesaurus demo car, so you have to double check that one. I'm not too sure on this, but then I don't know what's going on with this car up on the side, but we'll check that out in a sec. But you've got the rarest 370Z Nismo. I think this looks really cool with the kit. Not massive on the big wing, however, after seeing the race car earlier, I do understand it a bit more. So it does look pretty cool. Probably not how I'd do it personally, but still pretty sick. And then this old Datto 1600 that has an NA SR20 in it with ITVs. And you've got this R35 up on its side because something a little bit unconventional going on in here. This one has a manual gearbox. Don't know how or why, but that's the thing with Japanese car culture, right? Is that they'll like do anything to make an idea work. So you've got the mirror here under the car that shows you how manual transmission has been changed from the auto to the manual. That is very cool. Behind me here, we have entered probably one of my favourite areas of this entire display today. This is rare car Nismo heaven, all lined up. So, starting from the top, you have this 270R, one of 30 ever made. This is based on the S14 Silvia. You have this 400R yellow, one of 44 ever made. You've got this, which I've never seen before, yellow 400R race car. This is like, that is absolutely phenomenally cool. Like that is, if I had more time, I could spend 10 minutes talking about that, but I don't. So what you've got here is a Z-Tune. It's one of 19 ever made. This one here is, I thought it was a 380 RS, but the 380 RS is next to it, which is one of 300 ever made. This is a S-Tune GT, and me being a massive Nissan fan, I actually don't know how many of those are made, so someone's gonna have to correct me in the comments, but that is something I've never seen before. Over here, you've got something that I'd love to daily drive, but Erin hates, which is the Nismo Note. I think these are super sick. We see them everywhere in Japan.
Something that will get me ahead on the M1.
What, like this?
My God.
Anyway, carrying on, so we pointed out the 380 RS, which is here. You've got an R35 GTR Nismo. We've actually got two of them. So this is the older, I think like 2017 or 2018 Nismo. And then this one behind it here, I think is a maybe 2020. I'm better with the older stuff, don't shoot me. And then I've seen like heaps of these today. These are really popular here and I really like one. So our little green turd rental car is actually a Nissan March and it's a total piece of shit. But this thing is so sick. This is a Nismo March. Well, that's not all that bad an interruption to have, to be honest. And here comes another one. Sick. Newer generation Skyline that I don't think we get these in Australia, but this is pretty interesting. I don't know if I'd say cool. I'm going to put that on the interesting level, so keep that there. Then here you've got a 370Z Nismo. This is a Nismo Juke. This is one of the most awful cars that Nissan have made. The Juke is horrific. Then you've got some of the newer stuff in this new Nismo sort of dark bluey grey type color that you see start in the R35. Goes all the way through to this 400Z, or what they call here the Fat Lady. Whoa! Crazy. Then you've got the new Nismo Note Aura. Bloody hell. And then you've got the Aria, I guess, which I've never seen before, along with the Nissan Leaf Nismo. I definitely miss when it was like back here. I don't really enjoy this new stuff, but I had this really cool opportunity of this random lady coming up to speak to me with this older guy, and I was like, oh, what's going on here? Anyway, long story short, this R33 GTR 400R behind me is a real 400R. It's not just a 33 that's got 400R badges on them, but this is a Pikes Peak hill climb winning car. So this won the open class twice. I literally was just speaking to Kamiyama-san and his daughter, who came up to me, and that was the lady that I was talking about, who just came to speak to me, and they were telling me all about the history of this car, which is super, super cool. So this is the 2.8 litre stroked Rainick engine, and this one here was stroked out 2.8 litres from factory, but then the race team took this and modified it further to make 800 horsepower. I was going to say 400, but 400 was the stock power output. So to see such a unicorn, a true unicorn of the JDM scene here in the flesh at Fuji Speedway, to me, like, that's the whole romantic side about it, is that this car has actually raced on this racetrack before. And you've got another yellow one here as well, which is just way too cool. And then the Z-Tune, it's just, man, it doesn't get much better than that. A couple more shops didn't feature. It was the Midori Saving Center. It's another very, very famous tuning shop here in Japan. Beautiful, beautiful cars. This 34 is just like Dustin Williams' one, but she actually got built by Midori Savvy. And they've got an R35 GTR over here as well, which looks really nice, but very clean build. This one, carbon mirrors, and this R35 really nice on the white T3070s as well. Then you've got the Tomei shop as well. We haven't even been here yet. Pick up a full exhaust system as well if you wanted while you were here. We've got heaps of different AN fittings, turbo manifolds, a whole bunch of stock Nissan parts, probably new old stock as well. You've got some manifold gaskets. This one's for an RB26, you can see by the 6 cylinders. Over here you've got an intake plenum. So many different things in here. You can pause the screen to see the prices on these if you're interested as well. Tomei have their shift knobs as well. I used to have one of these in one of my cars. It'd be cool to see one here in Japan. The oil filler caps, some stickers. You can even grab a new turbo if you wanted as well. I always loved the Tomei turbos. I think there's just that iconic look of them with the blue. This is like a little logo mat, but these super sick old school stickers, and you can even get some Tomei pon cams, which I almost put in my Evo. But how cool is that? If you wanted a TI exhaust for your R32 GTR, you can pick that up today, the muffler, for about $2,500 if you wanted to go home with a new exhaust. Outlet pipes up here as well. Again, another rare GTR. This is an R32 S1, so you get the S1 engine, S1 suspension upgrades, other bits and bobs. This one is being sold by Best R, but I think it has sold now, and V-Spec 2 as well. This would be such an expensive car these days. This isn't just any standard R34 GTR that's in front of me now. This is actually an R2. It doesn't have the R2 sticker on it because it's not an R-Tune. It's a V-Spec 2 that has the R2 engine. So I'm sure at some point today they would have had the bonnet pop. Sadly, we can't see it now because we have got here so late to actually check all these cars out. I do just want to whip around because I actually plan on visiting the Best R dealer during the week. So I might even pop in and ask them now if that's okay, if we can go and visit on Tuesday before we go down. But then we'll continue on because there's probably a couple more shops and a couple more things to point out before it is home time. We need to go inside because we have to see the Calsonic car which is in there. I'm really bummed that I left my blue Calsonic jacket at home that you might have seen me wear in heaps of my other videos, but wow, check all this out. We haven't been this close to these cars yet. I'm sorry if you can't hear me right now. This Le Mans car, we're going to get kicked out soon, but you've got this one over here. You've got the R33 GTR Le Mans car. This inspired the blue R33 that we showed earlier in the day. And you've got a GT3 R35 GTR. These two are very, very cool. This is the Pennzoil R34 GTR. This is a really legendary JGTC race car. The R32 GTR that was driven by David Brabham. So this car was a European R32 GTR race car. And then you've got some awesome JGTC cars. Again, that's an R35. That's one that's based on a 350Z. Over here you have the holy grail for me. This is the Calsonic car. I don't know particularly which year this one raced in. I know it could be the 1991 or the 1992, but I'm not too sure. But seeing this thing in the flesh regardless is super cool, as well as the Reebok R31. That is such a special car. So sadly I didn't get time to film any car park shots because we were running around the event like absolute crazy people. But I hope you've enjoyed what was actually at the event here today because there was some incredibly special stuff. So as we say so often on this channel, all good things must vlogs come to an end because we do so many good fun things together, and today was no exception. As we've got a bit of the sun setting here with Mount Fuji in the background that I'm looking at while I'm talking to you now, I'm just feeling so blessed that I was able to attend Nismo Festival this year. What an absolutely awesome day. I probably only saw maybe 3/4 of the whole event because between staying in line for the model car for so long and just trying to see everything else and not rush, I genuinely couldn't get everywhere. And I have had the best time. I don't regret anything. Perhaps maybe only the model car situation. One thing that I would recommend to you though is make sure that you get here very, very early in the morning. The best thing for me though is that I know for a fact that this isn't going to be my last Nismo Festival. I am a lifelong diehard GTR fan, and hopefully the next time I come back to Nismo Festival, I've got my own R34 that I can be buying parts for or finding inspiration for from all the JDM dealers and shops here. Like, you have literally every one of my favorite JDM shops that I've only ever dreamt of seeing all in one spot. It's just amazing. Like, it is so cool. I highly recommend it. Nismo know how to throw a party. It was super cool to even see the race cars on track and just get amongst the culture here, speak to some of the owners of the shops, the driver of the Pikes Peak 400R as well. Just super special. Anyway, I won't labor the point now. I've already taken up so much of your time today, but I hope you've enjoyed every minute of it. I hope you feel like you've been here at the event with me. Everything that I've done today has been completely planned and unscripted. So if you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button, leave a comment below about what you enjoyed most about today's video, and make sure you follow along over on my Instagram where I post every single day, because we are not slowing down with the Japan content. We've only just got started. There is so much more coming to YouTube too. We'll see you in the next one. Never forget to stay driven, and see you later from me and Mount Fuji.